All right.
Okay. When I first got here, there were a lot of things that shocked me, obviously, from the city, the people, and everything that was around me. Sorry. I come from a really big city, not big in the sense of, in terms of it's like a big area. It's actually pretty small, but it's super dense. There's a lot of people walking everywhere, a lot of cars, lots of pollution. It's really dirty. It's super loud. And when I came here to Fullerton, it was like, where are the buildings? Where are the people on the street? Where's the noise? You know, it was kind of shocking. And something that caught my attention pretty big was that there was nobody on the streets walking. Pretty much every single person in the state, and probably in the U.S., I'm not too sure, but whatever, has a car. And I think this quote is actually making fun of that fact when it's saying that walking is not a lost art. One must by some means get to the garage. This quote is by Azar. Yeah. Well, in here it seems like having a car is almost like a symbol, like a social thing to that you want to aim for, because you know it means some sort of like independence. That you have enough money to actually get one, and you can just move around whenever you want. You don't depend on your parents. You don't have to wait for the bus. You're going to do all those kind of things. So it's actually pretty cool. It's a definitely sweet thing to have. But come on, like the streets are there too to walk, and walking is a nice thing. It gives you some exercise, some fresh air. You get to think about. You have time to think about other stuff. You don't have to be worrying about the lights and the traffic. You're just there, chilling. And I mean, it's a great thing to walk. And I just don't, it's weird. I don't understand sometimes how come people they try to drive whenever they're moving like 3 blocks to get like milk or something, and they go back to their house. It's just kind of strange for me, but whatever. Something funny that kind of like shocked me in the beginning were these tanks, because some of those things are not cars. They're just like tanks. They're massive. They're humongous. I really don't understand the purpose unless you're like transporting things back and forth, and you actually need all that space. It would make sense, but just to say like, hey, I have a big car, I'm cool. Like, come on, like the only thing that is actually coming from that is just an absurd amount of the absurd amount of fuel that is being consumed when you can even ride your bicycle just to different places or whatever you want to do. Now that I'm getting into big cars, the next thing I was thinking about is pollution, which is obviously a big thing right now. All these people that are going green, you know, the world is going to end because everything is getting hotter, blah, 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 and the ocean is rising and everything. So it's not just about you wanting to tell people, hey, look at how cool I am because of this car I have, or I'm too lazy to walk a few blocks down there to get a few things from the store. You gotta think about maybe your kids or 2-3 generations from now. If this whole thing about the world being too polluted is actually true, then we should probably try to make a change about that and maybe not drive too much and start walking like this person is trying to say. And also, I don't have a car, but that's because I don't have enough money to actually get one. And I really don't mind. Like I said, I really like walking. Just a few days ago, I started getting this weird pain in my back because, I don't know, I just did some weird movement and I couldn't even stand up from my bed. It actually took me like 10, I think I told you, Miguel, it took me like 10 minutes to get out of bed on Saturday. And it's because I spent a lot of time sitting in front of the piano just doing weird things while I'm playing. So if I would be driving, it would be even worse because I would, you know, get to the garage, sit in the car, and just sit for like 10-15 minutes, whatever it takes you to get to school, and then come here and keep sitting in front of the piano, keep playing, sit in the classroom. So it's like you need to move a little bit so your body feels better, and so you actually, you know, you can be yourself. I mean, like, we are human beings and we need to move. It's cool that technology is making our lives like super easy. There's Facebook and stuff like that. You don't need to remember about things anymore. Cars will take you to different places. Blenders will like mix stuff for you. I mean, that's cool, but what about ourselves? You know, there's certain things that we also need to do. And I think walking, since most of you guys might not have enough time to actually go to the gym and work out, like I said, it's a nice thing, fresh air. You get to think about yourself, a bunch of other things. You get your iPod, and you can even talk on the phone, and it's completely legal.
That's true.
Start doing that, and yeah, that's about it.
tell me that on Thursday? Different Miguel. I didn't see you on
All right, Francisco, I like the attention device that you have, a good transition to the topic. It sounds like you've got a point that you're going to be making. There's no preview of what the content's going to be, and when you're presenting the material, it does seem a little bit random. Although I do think that you try and make some transitions while you're speaking, it doesn't really seem like it's something that was planned, that this is the next point that I'm going to go to. It just seems like you suddenly get there, and then you have to start again. I thought you did a nice job talking about each of the points when you got to it. You had some interesting things to say. You spoke in a natural way, and I thought that came across pretty well. On the presentation issues, you could project a little bit more. I think maybe a little more energy would be helpful. You've got a lot of good gestures and indicators, although occasionally your hand finds its way into the pocket, and then you look a little bit awkward while you're standing there. When you're talking to us, your facial expression seems sincere. Your eye contact's a little inconsistent. You do look out at the audience frequently, but there are a lot of times when it seems like you're actually talking to yourself rather than talking to us. It's kind of like you're thinking and you're looking down and you're just in front of us while you're thinking out loud instead of engaging the audience a bit. That only happened 3 or 4 times in the presentation. I did think that it was strange. You got as far away from us as you could. You went right up against the whiteboard, and that's where you're standing for the most part. And you can step up a little bit and maybe create a little bit more intimacy. I didn't get the feeling that it's because you were intimidated, but it just seemed like, why are you so far away the whole time? And that just seemed a little odd. Okay. Thank you.